Coming up at 4 p.m. Coming up at 4 p.m. here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. It's game number 3 on the day. Game 3 of 4 on our quadruple header coverage of the 3C2A 2016 Men's and Women's Soccer Championships here from Ventura. OXNARD, the defending state champ for the men, taking on the 1 seed from the north, Fresno City. Live starting at 4 p.m. Join Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff. Coverage for you in about an hour. And we join you once again live here from Ventura College at the VC Sports Complex. SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of the 3C2A 2016 Soccer Championships. Mike Cepeda, Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson, Jorge Cepeda, and we are joined in the booth by Steve Hoffman, coach here at Ventura College for the women, and Cal South.
Yeah, technical director of Cal South.
Cal South. Now, what is Cal South, Coach?
Cal South is the main governing body in Southern California. We have 187,000 players, and I run the Olympic Development Program, which is where our national team kids come from, which a number of these kids on OXNARD have actually been in the program.
Nice.
And a few of the FRESNO kids have been on the Northern California, which is obviously our counterparts. So, great day at the Plex, huh?
Yeah, it's a beautiful day for soccer. I think my dad said it best this morning, just like, this is going to be a great day for playing soccer. Wish he was out there. Well, that's what he wished, but probably not so much anymore. I'm a little old myself, so.
I'm just chatting to Tim Vom Steeg over there, and Tim's got his shorts on and a T-shirt on, and I'm like, Tim, you're in Ventura. He says, no, every time I forget, once the sun goes down, it gets cold.
Yeah, it does get a little nippy up here. We felt that this morning. We felt that coming in last night via the drive. About to get underway here, Game 3 of the day. It'll feature the defending state champion for them in Oxnard College, the Condors, taking on the number 1 seed from the North, Fresno City College. And the Rams, top seed in the North, having only dropped 1 game this season. That loss came to Taft earlier this year, and Taft was dispatched by Mount Sac in our opening game today in a thrilling penalty kick shootout that saw Mount Sac and the Mounties pushed to the brink before they eventually survived. Hoffy, were you around for that?
No, I wasn't, but I was following you on Twitter and on. I was following you live, and it was pretty exciting. I know that you feel for Taft there the chance to wrap it up.
Heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking, but that's unfortunately the way the game is.
Yeah.
We've got to have a winner.
Yeah, Ricky Montoy was the player who missed the goal that would have sealed it for Taft, the 5th and final penalty. If that goes in, Mount Sac is down to their last save, and Montoy goes wide right of the goal en route to tying it up, and then right after that, Juan Sanchez puts it in for Mount Sac, and that was it.
Both great teams, though, I would imagine. Both very, very good teams.
Very, very good teams. You know, Mount Sac came in as the prohibitive favorite, a perennial power here in Southern California, very well known. They won 4 state championships from 2009 to 2012, their 10th consecutive Final Four appearance, and they have a chance to put one in the books in 2016 on Sunday.
Yeah, no, I was actually working with those boys last weekend with a coaching clinic I did at Mount Sac, and the boys came out and worked, and there's some great kids. Obviously, the kid Axel Mendez.
Mendez is really
very
good
player. You know,
quite the magician we were talking about on the broadcast with the ball.
Very much, and you're going to have the same thing with Carbajal. Both LA Galaxy kids, you know, went through their academy system. So both those kids are on the same team that won the National Development Academy Championship. So it's going to be an exciting game. I'm really looking forward to it, and it's couldn't ask for a more beautiful evening. Yeah,
and we are getting ready to set the table for Sunday for the men's final. That'll be played at 10 a.m. You can see that on SoCalCollegeSports.com. You go to our website. We have all the players for today's games embedded on our homepage. And then Sunday, we will follow suit as well. You can also catch this broadcast on the California Community College Athletic Association's official website, CCCAA sports.org. This broadcast being brought to you in part by Joe Cap Realty, friend of the program here and friend of Ventura College, and always likes to help out in terms of providing exposure for the student athletes, and you know, such a well of talent here in the state of California in 3C2A. We were talking about how it's the only sanctioning body for one state in the entire nation for junior college.
And people always say to me, you know, why don't you guys compete in the national championship? Well, why do we need to? The best players are right here.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, realistically, teams have gone to the East Coast and played. I can tell you that Cerritos played twice against national championship teams and won 7 and 8-0. You know, so we know we've got some great players here. There's no need to go any further.
Mount Sac, I was reading up in a scrimmage earlier in the year versus UC Riverside, a Division I men's program. They beat them.
They did. You're correct. You're correct. I mean, you know, again, Mount Sac.
Hey, we do our homework here.
You know, what can I tell you? You know, that's what it's about. But the interesting thing tonight, obviously, is Fresno comes from an area where it's really, really hot. I'm sure their style of play is a little bit slow. Oxnard like to keep the ball like the Barcelona style. So I'm intrigued to see what formations they go with, whether it's a 4-3-3 or, you know, whether it's a 4-4-2 with a diamond. It'll be interesting to see how they come out. They've got the sun. Oxnard's got the sun behind them, so it'll face this for the next 40 minutes. It will be really tough for this Fresno back line.
It's the Rams and the Condors here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Semifinal number 2 for men's soccer here in the 3C2A. Oxnard in the white, in the black, the Fresno City College Rams. Have it near side. This is Kiefer Cooksey. Up ahead. And a little green patch to run with if he can catch up to the ball on the far side. Looks like Jake Martinez. That ball entered in quickly. The first few minutes, you either strike gold or it's a feeling out period, and you would suspect both teams such a high caliber of play to really feel each other out and not try to make themselves susceptible to the counter.
No, for sure. I mean, you want to go in 10, 12 minutes either with a goal or just holding it the way it is. So right now it's a little cat and mouse. Looks like Fresno are playing 1 up front and then 3 behind them and 1 holding mid. So their formation looks like a 4-1-3-1. And Oxnard, I think, very similar. So we might have a little similar way of playing. So Oxnard started off pretty well. So is Fresno, both able to keep the ball and move it around.
Fresno City College led by Jonathan Rodriguez and Andres Rios, and a player to watch for the Rams as well, Noel Prieto.
He's the assist king, I think, the Prieto kid. I think he's got a few assists as well.
Yeah, Prieto has 34 assists on the season.
That's
check that. I'm sorry.
No, he had 4.
It's Jose Torres.
That's right. That's number 7. So we got to watch for number 7 because he is the assist kid.
The engine that makes it go. We are early into play here. Game 3 of our quadruple header here today on SoCal College Sports. That ball squirts free. It's a good job in recovery there by Saul Higuera. Ball getting away. You expect some early game jitters here, and hopefully that doesn't result in a drop goal for either team.
Turnovers are key. Turnovers are key. You want to try and keep the ball a little bit, try and slow the game down. Like you said, get rid of all that juice, all that nerves.
Yep.
Fresno are pressing quite high, so they're moving some people forward, and obviously the risk there is the counter if Oxnard can spring a counter. Fantastic to see a lot of local boys, and obviously coming back you've got a target on your back, so everybody wants to beat them. They've had a lot of ties, but where I come from, ties are wins, and I think that I think Ross would agree. They're where they need to be, even with those 8 ties.
Well, in the opening poll earlier in the season, Oxnard, the defending state champ, came out number 2. The number 1 team in that poll, Fresno.
Yeah, that's true. And I think if you look at it, they've all lived up to the hype, haven't they? All 4 teams that have been here have been good teams.
Carbajal throwing it in on the near side.
Nice switch your point of attack.
It's a great reversal there. It sets some things up for the offense. Always about shifting that defense and looking for that seam.
Yeah, the more you can move the ball, the more you move that back line. It's kind of like a game of chess, but continuous.
Ever flowing.
It is, yeah. And, if the ball stops still, it's great for the defensive team.
It really is.
The more you can move that ball, the better.
That's a great head. Mario Sarmino, leader of this team for the Condors, unable to really corral that ball. Fresno now with possession.
Has very, very fast feet and looks like, he loves to run at people. And that's going to create problems for Fresno if they're not careful.
And, Coach, you alluded to teams that come from a hot climate wanting to slow it down. Can you explain and touch on that a little bit further?
Well, just the heat, obviously we've been to Fresno numerous times, and the game's different when you're playing in that heat. Obviously tonight they can press a little bit more than they've been doing, but you got to go back, and fitness is a key, right? You know, how fit are they with that heat? How much can you do in the heat? Whereas obviously the climatic conditions here really suit the Oxnard boys if they choose to press.
Now you have a team number 1 out of the north versus number 2 in the south, the defending state champion. They're on their home turf. Oxnard just a hop, skip, and a jump away. Who do you give the edge to here early?
Well, I think it's dead even the game. I mean, I think we've both seen that, Oxnard were a little bit on top, and they're maintaining a little bit of possession. I think that's what Oxnard's got to do. I think that's the type of team they are. They want the ball. You know, they've had a couple of losses, but both those losses were great ball down the right. Oof.
Slowing it down, looking for a cross, and unable to find anybody home. It's a good job there by Raul Gonzalez for the Condors.
Great
Trying to make something happen.
Ooh, nice run.
And here comes the counter. 1-on-1. Far side, and
yeah.
the flag is up.
Flag went up early, which was good because he was on his way to go.
And I think that's pretty 50-50. It's very close to being onside there, but the flag is up. It'll go back to the Condors.
Very, very close. But was good, was even. The great thing about these football lines is you can see when they're even, you know. And, of course, coaches always disagree with that. But
Jose Ramirez, the free runner on that play for the Rams, streaking down the field. Now, Coach, you talk about a team that maybe prefers a slower pace based on the climate and where they play. Do you maybe think about opening it up a little bit? If you're in a cooler climate, you know, does that mean you have a little bit more in the tank?
Well, yes, I think so. But I think Fresno will go about this. They'll try and stay in this game in the first 30 minutes. And Oxnard's got a little bit more possession now, you know, and they get Carbajal on the ball and Torres on the ball. It might change things. They've scored some goals. They're not prolific, but they've scored goals. The one thing about Oxnard is they do a good job at closing the game down.
Right.
Yes, they've given a few away, but not many. And, of course, if we look at the shutouts for Fresno, they probably have had more. So
only 2 losses on the season for Oxnard. They came to Moore Park in Santa Monica.
Yeah, and actually on the Moore Park game, I think they rested a lot of players. The game was didn't really mean anything in the sense that they didn't want any injuries.
Right.
So I think that one's next. But I do know Santa Monica was a pretty good team.
So are they going to win the corner? No, this will be a goal kick. That's a good job defensively down the line. That's Saul Higuera.
And, you know, maybe the experience as well is really helping Oxnard. You know, we've got about 8 players that played last year in the final, and you know, there's no substitute for that, is there? That pressure, knowing what it's about. So that probably is helping Oxnard. Plus, they're at home, aren't they? Let's face it, really, they're in the county. Should be some good fan support out there. Yeah, good ball movement again.
In the 8th minute here of semifinal number 2, Fresno and Oxnard here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Steve Hoffman, women's soccer coach here at Ventura College. We're live from the VC Sports Complex.
I'd encourage fans locally, come on out.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful evening. We got Santa Barbara coming up. It's all local flavor.
Yep.
Come support the beautiful game here.
You can watch it on your stream on the way over.
Well, if you can't come, watch it on the streaming. It's you guys do a fantastic job. I follow our football team all season. I've not missed a game, thanks to you.
We appreciate that, Coach. You're the one viewer.
I'm sure you have more than one.
Yeah, I'd have to. I'll be modest here, but yes, it is more than one.
I know that for a fact. Little bit flat ball over the top. Yeah, that's good clearance.
Great clear there, Cermino on the far side. Makes a move, splits a defender, and unable to retain possession. Coach, would you say maybe early on, if you had to sum up some of the activity, a little sloppy?
Yeah. I think the nerves, like we talked about, a little bit nervous, but in transition, Oxnard look like they can penetrate, and so do Fresno.
So Lees kicks it back. Here's Cooksey. Cooksey makes a move, keeps possession.
Good ball.
Oh, that's a great ball. This is Gonzalez. Gonzalez looking for a cross. Can he get a shot on goal? He goes wide, well wide right of the frame.
First shot of the game, and it came up about 9 passes by Oxnard. So that's that game they want to do. They want to possess and pull people around. He'll probably be disappointed with what happened at the end of it. But you know what? The old cliche, you don't shoot, you don't score. So.
Well, it's like the lotto. You can't win if you don't play.
My wife keeps telling me that same thing. Buy a ticket.
Well, it's hard not to when the jackpots reach like 432 million or something like that. That's just an arbitrary number.
I don't want that much.
I'll take 10% of that. Call it a day.
Always try to play out of pressure, Oxnard. Very, very good around the ball, even if they're double teamed. That's the style they play. Fresno will go a little bit big if they can, if it's not on. Whereas Oxnard will build. They'll try and possess.
I noticed that these teams versus the last game versus Mount Sac and Taft. That game more so of a defensive effort, and that's almost reflective of the people who are the heads of those teams.
Yes.
Both of those teams, their stars are on the defensive side of the ball outside of, I believe it was Flores. And here's a good ball and perhaps a scoring opportunity that is negated, but they will retain possession with the Condors. Sarmino on the far side. Good ball. Over to Arroyo. Back to Sarmino.
Look to come left, look to come left. They'll come out left and look for a little bit of a give and go. Disappointing.
That's well diagnosed by
well,
Alan Gonzalez.
Well read indeed. And again, Fresno are looking to play that ball very early forward. So a little pattern developing, which is Fresno playing it a little bit more direct. When it's on, they're looking to go long. But the sun's in their eyes, so maybe they're relieving pressure. But OXNARD always are trying to build.
Sun won't be up for too much longer here. We're in the 12th minute of play in the first half. Fresno and OXNARD. Semifinal number 2. The winner gets Mount Sac, the top team in the state, on Sunday at 10 a.m. Cooksey back on it. Cooksey almost sounds like a nickname, Coach.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Sounds like one of the Brits. They always have little names like that, you know.
Who's your team?
Liverpool, of course.
Okay.
Johan Klapp is my man right now.
Well, spread the word, everybody. We are worldwide. This isn't just in the area. If you have any friends and family unable to make the trip, and you have them maybe abroad, we know that we have some viewers from Mexico and also from Canada and Great Britain.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I'm sure the families from around the world can watch and love watching.
That's one of the reasons why we do this. We, allow exposure for players not only to the 4-year level, but for friends and family that won't be able to make it in attendance. Cooks with it on the near side.
Good run, just not the quality pass they wanted. Well done.
Yeah, well, we talked about the play early on here being a little sloppy from the Condors and the Rams.
Yes.
And I don't know if we've seen a shot on goal.
No, we've seen a shot, but not on goal, unfortunately.
We've seen a couple shots, just not on goal.
Yeah.
Let's see if this might turn the tide in that regard. No. Higuera back to it, receiving some pressure. Both teams are some pretty good athletes here, Coach.
Yeah, and you know what's happening is Fresno's dropping a little deep, and you're giving some gaps in midfield. As you'll see, there's a lot of time on the ball. Yeah. That's not a good thing for when you're playing OXNARD. You want to try and keep that field as small as you can.
Keep the field small, but you also want to keep pressure as well.
Yeah, and you can't. The bigger the field, the less pressure on the ball. So, as you can see through the screen, you'll see there's a big gap in there where the two target players are, and that's a tough one. They're going to have to fill that gap.
Could that maybe be a product of trying to adjust to the faster style of play? So I'm with it right now.
Oh, it's a nice little ball. Unlucky, great ball again.
He was looking for a streaking Raul Gonzalez. Ball does not get there. Clear out by the Rams.
Yeah, I think the possession arrow is probably going a little bit towards OXNARD right now. Probably they're at 60%, I would think.
Yeah, 60-40, something
you think?
There, yeah.
So I mean, and that's how to bet. It's got to do well for OXNARD. That's their style.
That ball gets away.
That's
Rams an opportunity. Quick flick, and that one off of the post.
Unfortunately, he's
all
offside.
for naught. He's offside.
Very close.
Well, the sun's in my eye now, so it's not only affecting the players; it's affecting the broadcast.
That's for sure. That's what we do when we play at home, especially if we play this early. We can get that sun, and it is a huge advantage because you have to take a step back or miss the ball.
Jonathan Rodriguez, not a shocker there, lead goal scorer this season for Fresno, the player to come away with that free run, but all for naught, as we said, offsides, and now we're back the other way for the Condors. OXNARD with it. Gonzalez off to the far side.
You can see that big hole there in front of the back four of Fresno. Now the transition comes, and it's going to be an early ball again.
Yeah.
Good run.
And again, this is Rodriguez. He's offsides again. Is that an offsides trap, Coach?
Well, I think we talked about making the field small, so I think that Ross would talk about that particular point. Let's keep it nice and small. We won't use the word offside because the referee becomes a key, or the linesman becomes a big key into that. Right. So, if you can make it small and then drop, But they've done a great job right now. That's 3 or 4, right?
Yep.
Early in the game.
Rodriguez on it again.
Rodriguez is a very, very good player with his feet, and he plays with his back to goal real well. You see how he's got so many goals.
Condors now with it, working in the white, Fresno in the red and black, mostly black. Show up on your screen. 15 minutes have gone by here in the first half.
I think both teams will be happy of where they're at.
It's a good flick. And maintaining possession on the near side. This is Jimenez. Jimenez enters it in. Carbajal looking for some room. Nothing there. Little contact. No harm, no foul. Solis.
Was very nice there.
Good composure. And then Solis throws it away.
Very nice. Could have quite easily been a free kick. He didn't play the ball, played his legs. But, you give the referee credit. He's letting the game flow, which is, what you want. You don't want him to be making the stopping and starting the game.
One observation I've made today, both games, semifinal number 1 and 1 for the men's and the women's, very well officiated.
Yeah, the key for all of us as coaches and spectators, we don't want the game to keep stopping. Obviously, if it's a foul, you want the foul, but we want to play. Both teams want to do that, and I think both these teams. I've not seen many free kicks. I didn't see many free kicks in the last game. So, the spirit of how they're playing, even though it's a big game.
Yep.
It's super impressed with Folsom Lake the way they came back at the end for that last goal. It was very late, but character.
A strong resolve.
Tremendous character. Been there, lost in the semifinals, and it's always a tough one, but. It really is the journey, how the journey's gone for them, and they should be proud of what they've done. And obviously, Cerritos, great team, very, very good team with some great players, and they're perennial. They're like Mount Sac. They've built dynasties.
They really have.
They're the North Carolina of community college soccer, both Mount Sac and
North Carolina and Duke.
Yep. That's
It's not a bad analogy.
No, it's not. And they've both done a great job. Coaching staffs are very good. But the hardest thing for all coaches is get the game plan, implement it. It all comes down at the end of the day when the whistle blows. It's 11 on 11. Unlike, not unfortunately, but other sports where you've got the times out. And yourself in this game, you want to call a timeout.
Yeah.
But this is where you've got to make sure that your homework's done. And
yeah.
And for me, set pieces are going to be big in this game. We got a free kick. It's on about the 35 yards out. These are always dangerous.
They worked so well for Taft today.
Yes.
Despite not scoring during the game, they really put pressure on Mount Sac in set pieces. We see a free kick right now for the Rams. That's a good ball with some backspin on it. Hanging up. Potential danger area. It's a pretty good clearance there. Looks like that was Cooksey.
Good defending. That you'll be happy with that one. You don't want to give anything
You'll
away
take
on
it.
a set piece for sure.
OXNARD coming in with a record of 14-2-8. Even more impressive, the number 1 team from the North, Fresno, 18-1-4. The lone loss coming to Taft earlier this year. And Taft dispatched, as we said earlier, by Mount Sac in the opening game today. Mount Sac through. Winners 5-4 in penalty kicks. Pushed to the brink. A fantastic finish that we had for you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. We're here throughout the weekend, today and Sunday. We're approaching the 20-minute mark gone by here in the first half. Still no score. Fresno and OXNARD, the defending champion here in the 3C2A for men's soccer.
Game's pretty predictable. Both teams still trying to feel each other out. Not lots of chances. It's sometimes in these games it's the team that makes the first mistake.
Yep.
Great ball over the top, but excellently defended.
Yeah, the defenses are pretty locked in. I think the offenses have really had their struggles, and we talked about the turnovers playing largely into that. Sarmiento looks a little off, Coach.
Yeah, and the thing we have to talk about obviously is the field, the size of the field. It's not. Oxnard plays with about 6 more yards. Their field's about 80 wide. Fresno's is about 80 wide. So they're playing with 5 yards difference, and it does make a difference with time and space. So game's a bit faster. You've got to play a little bit faster. You can't hold the ball as long.
Yeah, this isn't normally the soccer field here. Is that correct, Coach?
Yeah. We play the collegiate games on it. It's a legal size. It's just you can go up to 80
Right.
to 120, and both these teams would love to have another 5 yards. You can imagine a basketball court being 5 yards bigger. It really helps them. So, but on the flip side of it, if you're technically sound and your team can move the ball, and both these teams can, it's really about that. Can you move the ball faster, speed of play?
Yeah, you talk about the size. The flag is not up.
No, he's on.
Deep penetration. This is Torres. Torres looking to turn on one.
Very nice from
Tight
Torres.
quarters and coming out of his position. Dangerous ball in the middle. Escarino comes out and nearly got burned.
I think Oxnard's got to watch out for the big three of Fresno. There's three great players there. You've got this Torres, Prieto, and Rodriguez. They're the guys that Fresno are going to look to lift this game.
And Torres on the doorstep there, but denied. Condors now with it. It's a good attempt there.
Little turnover, and now
Here's Rodriguez on the far side. Can keep that from going out. He does straddle the line, keeps it going past the boundary. Sarmino with a takeaway. Terrific defense.
Great tackle.
And Rodriguez wins it back. There's a shot, and it goes wide right of the goal. And Escareno maybe a little bit out of his post, more so than he needed to be.
A little bit off. I think that they were looking for a little bit of a foul, but it was not a foul. It was won the ball totally clean.
And another turnover.
They're struggling right now, Oxnard, to complete those passes.
Well, Coach, you talked about who makes the first mistake, and it's the mistakes have been plentiful here in the first half.
Yeah, and both teams. The good thing for both teams is they've not made that defense in the defensive third until Rodriguez had the chance.
Is that a late tackle? Is that a foul, or just going to be a throw-in?
Yeah, he should give it a throw-in. I mean, you can see that the referee's trying to let the game flow. It's one of those ones where the crowd want a free kick, but I think he's done a good job up to now.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's been any bad fouls in this game.
Yeah, nothing egregious.
Dangerous.
That one gets through. Opportunity for the Condors and trying to turn on it. That was Jimenez, still on his foot. It leaks free. Can the Condors maintain possession? They will not be able to do so. That's a great job by Torres, winning that ball.
Excellent defending, and it was a half chance, yeah? A little half chance ball missed by two defenders.
And Raul Gonzalez battling it out there with Torres. Short end of the stick on that battle. Rams will have it. 23rd minute here in the first half. Fresno and Oxnard, semifinal number 2 of the 3C2A Men's Soccer Championships. Mount Sac already through to Sunday.
Real busy in that midfield. Lovely combination.
Again. Good movement and another turnover. And at what point do you start clicking on all cylinders with that passing? Does it just take reps? Or
yeah, you just need the one good one to inspire you, and yourself, maybe one good chance will inspire them. But again, Fresno don't play a shorter game, but they're very effective. They're very, very effective.
Coach, you talked about the size of this field.
Excellent.
That's a great ball. Torres, the recipient, tries to center it up, and it finds its way in the hand of Escanero, who comes out, puts a hand on it, and quashes the.
He'd want that one back again because he panicked, he rushed, and just take your time.
The composure not there. Carbajal now with it for the Condors. Gives off to Cooksey. That one off of the foot of the Rams. Goes off of Tovar. Cooksey's going to throw it in near side. It's brought to you. This broadcast being brought to you in part by Joe Cap Real Estate. The Rams win that ball. An opportunity here for the Condors. They have numbers. Is the passing going to be on point? Yet again,
Turnover again, and I think one of the problems that Talks don't have, I don't have what we would call a number 9 that stays very, very high. They're coming deep, so they're playing what we call underneath the back 4, and you really want to penetrate. Here's a run
Cooksey, 3-on-3, had a chance, ball not through, and that is great defense by Andres Rios. Condors still maintain possession. Crisis averted momentarily for the Rams, but the Condors trying to garner a little momentum here. Another good touch, and that we talked about that passing and the movement starting to be on point. Condors, good center ball. Was that a handball?
Very close.
Very close to a handball on the Rams. That would have been a penalty in the box. That's probably a foul, no? Oh, that's a great job of maintaining possession, Jose Ramirez.
Excellent job.
Ramirez over to Rodriguez. Rodriguez double teamed and loses it. Good defense from the Condors. Carvajal comes up. Can he win the ball? That's just good two-way action. That's going to be won by Jose Aguilera.
Good fighting spirit by both players. Both wanted the ball.
Yeah, good two-way action here in the first half.
It's an entertaining game. We just like to see a few more chances, right? Keep us on the edge of our seats.
Well, it's almost like boxing when you see a very technical fight. Not a lot of casual fans can appreciate it. They just want to see a bunch of knockouts.
No,
Much like you sometimes want to see a lot of goals in soccer, but that's not necessarily all the case.
No. I mean, let's face it. Soccer. There's two games. There's the first game.
Great
and the
ball,
second game.
good touch, and
transition. Just that last effort is just not quality enough.
Raul Gonzalez nearly had a patch of green in front of him, en route to a breakaway run-on-one with the goalkeeper. Now the Rams with it.
Nice little diagonal run.
Lopez up ahead. This is Torres. Torres comes for a great ball. Good feet. Centers it up. Nobody home.
Right across the goal box. That's one that you'd like to think somebody can get on the end of it. Great play by Torres, though, showing his quality.
And, Coach, we getting back to your point about the field not being as large as some fields, especially as the fields that these teams are used to playing on, that does favor the players that can move and operate in tight quarters.
Correct. I mean, that's what it's about. The smaller the field, obviously the faster the game, the more technical you've got to be. And I think that's why we're seeing some turnovers, is that they're used to holding a little bit longer. So maybe it's the team that adapts. We've got an injury on the field, 26, 27 minutes into the first half. So I think both teams will be happy with it.
Yeah, they'll go ahead and take that. We'll take a little break in the action. We'll take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Today, this broadcast being brought to you in part by Nevco and eteamsponsor.com. IDX, giving you the power to create. And by Jostens and Wilson, the official ball of the 3C2A Soccer Championships. And, of course, Joe Cap Real Estate. Players still down, and you wonder if this is maybe where you caught a foot, or did you pull something, or is it maybe a cramp?
Trainer came on the field.
Damian Lopez is the injured player for the Condors, and he is walking gingerly to the sideline alongside the trainer.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he has to leave the field, at least for a moment,
right.
Even though the new rules are implemented through FIFA, we're not quite there yet. Great night to be at the Sportsplex. Beautiful weather. Beautiful.
A beautiful backdrop here on the campus of Ventura College. We're at the VC Sportsplex. Mike Cepeda, Steve Hoffman with you on today's broadcast, along with Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson on technical direction, Jorge Cepeda on camera, and the wireless camera. We talk about IDX, and Coach, I did want to make a quick mention of one of the new things to SoCal College sports in our coverage this season is the wireless camera at field level, and that adds such an interesting dynamic that you can see right now on the screen. And IDX is the manufacturer of the component that allows us to bring you that wireless feed. And IDX giving you the power to create. We create the new angles for you and enhance the broadcast. That's
terrific. And I know that in the past we've done broadcasts, and we've had military out in Iraq, and they're getting to see the kids play, which is this is why we want to do these things.
Absolutely.
That our armed service guys that maybe would like to be here from Wainimi, can't be here, but they can see it, and that is so.
It's a great point.
So appreciated from all of our military folks.
And the international,
Yes.
the international appeal.
Well, for sure. I mean, we, obviously a lot of Mexican Americans live in this area and also in Fresno. So I hope that the folks out there in Mexico City and Monterrey or wherever they are getting a chance to see
It's a big country.
Their cousins and nephews playing this great game.
And we have some Canadians on this team as well.
So, I mean, that's tremendous. Soccer has grown so much in this country, and we've always been good, I think, in Southern California, but the rest of the country's catching up. But obviously MLS is certainly helping.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, Coach, where are you from?
Originally, I'm from Liverpool in England.
Okay.
So I've been here since 1983. So I've lived here longer than I lived in England.
All right.
Get back occasionally.
And did I just hear that right? The Titanic was built in Liverpool?
The Titanic was built in Liverpool, yeah, and unfortunately it sunk. So not all ships go down, not that they build there. So it's important to remember that.
That's true.
Yeah, it used to be a big shipyard, but now it's not. It's changed tremendously.
Sarmino comes over, wins that ball, and the Condors now with possession. Cooksey kicks it back, and it's a turnover. Rodriguez steps in front of that one.
Foul.
He's tripped up, and that's a foul.
Dangerous. And the game's kind of gotten a little bit out of, let's say, sync because there's not as much possession, lots of turnovers. And now we start thinking about the mistake because things are not going the way they want.
Not a lot of rhythm offensively for
No.
either team, and that's when set pieces can really separate in terms of gaining an advantage. And right now we'll see a free kick in favor of the Rams. The Rams operating in the black, in the white jerseys. It's Oxnard, the defending 2015 state champ in the 3C2A.
It's Jess Camero. Camero, how do you say that one?
Jesse Camarena.
Camarena. See, that's my English Spanish.
That's all right.
But left-footed, in-swinger.
The lefty, little bend on it. Dangerous ball, finds itself center box. And coming away with it nicely, Escareno. The freshman from Oxnard, local product.
Oh,
and another
bad
turnover, point blank. And that you just can't have it at this point, Coach.
No, I mean, look, there's a difference between being brave
Here comes the counter.
and being silly, isn't there? And I
That's
think
a great tackle by Torres
well,
to win that ball.
The big three from Fresno are having an impact on this game at this point in time.
They really are. They are the separating
Yes.
force in this game right now. And the Condors may be winning in time of possession. It has been very back and forth. But I would say if you had to favor one team overall right now, it would be Fresno because of that big three.
I'm with you 100%, and I'm not sure, obviously the key players for Oxnard are not on the ball enough, and that's because of the turnovers. We talked about it.
Yeah.
Too many turnovers, and now Oxnard have dropped into a deep shell. They got a block of 5, a block of 4, and then 1 up top. That's that penetrating ball.
Coming up on the 34th minute here of playing the first half. Fresno and Oxnard, semifinal number 2 for the men. Dangerous cross, cleared out by Oxnard. Condors now with possession. This is Gonzalez. Gonzalez, numbers not in his favor. He'll play it back.
No one to penetrate to. That's a problem for Oxnard. They're going to have to find the high player because the transition was in there. And if that was Fresno with their big three, that ball would have been split in the back 4.
Well, you talked about them falling into that shell defensively,
Yes.
and that definitely plays in, and not having that runner. Carbajal reverses it to the far side.
Good late run.
Good ball in front. Another turnover. Rodriguez controls that one nicely. And you just see the skill level out there for Rodriguez and his ability to really take on all balls in his direction.
Yep.
He does a great job of really maintaining control in traffic. Right now, Escanero out of his box. Dangerous spot. That looked like a handball. Very close to it by Jerry Orozco. Rams with it in a threatening position, but Sarmino wins it back for the Condors.
Again, that very slow build-up. When you look at the back line of Fresno, they're not really causing them any problems because the build-up's so slow. I would think that Ross will address that at halftime and try and get. Now this is better. We got nice
Good
width.
ball. Cooksey on the near side. He's got a runner. This is Solis. Solis enters it in with a quick touch, and Gonzalez turns it over yet again. talk about the deep penetration. Sarmino trying to win that one back off of his chest, but it ricochets in favor of the Rams. Aguilera up ahead, looking for Torres, but Torres not on the same page. Mike Cepeda, Steve Hoffman with you on tonight's broadcast. Hoffy, will you be with us for Game 4?
Yeah, I'm going to sit in and help with Game 4. I'm excited about that.
Love it.
Obviously, we have 3 first-hand experiences against Santa Barbara, so we know a little bit about them. Better run up front. Opened up that channel.
Quite the insight. Looking forward to that. Gonzalez now with it near side. Can he get one in to cross? Off to Solis. Solis shot from well out front. And off the mark, I believe that was Cooksey.
You don't really want your left back taking those shots. You really want to try and build that into the box to get one of their big guys on the ball.
It's like a post player shooting a 3 in basketball.
It's not the shot you want, is it? You know, but unfortunately in the
well,
game,
unless it's a stretch 5 or 4.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, speaking of basketball, the women's basketball team and the men's. A formidable force here this season for Ventura. We look forward to potentially covering some of their matches later in the year.
Do a great job. Ned Mercedes, of course, you know, what can I tell you, 24 championships in a row, league championships is pretty impressive.
He's a legend.
And Joey has to rebuild. Obviously on the guys' side a little bit harder because there's so many good teams. But, you know, I love watching the basketball team. And our football team, shout out to those guys this year. Fantastic season. And unfortunately, it wasn't where they wanted to end up.
Dangerous ball, and finally a shot on goal. Is that our first?
Well, it's our first for Oxnard. We could say
first for Oxnard for sure.
Maybe 2 to Fresno with the header. Remember the header and the save off the line?
We'll try to get some stats for you at halftime. Stats being done by David Silverstein, another friend of the broadcast. A lot of friends up here in Ventura.
We're all friendly in this county. Great turnover. Now's a chance to penetrate. Again, you know, this.
Solis.
Good.
Off the side of his foot, up ahead to Cooksey. He's looking for a runner. Cooksey still with possession. Double team now. Spins on it. Gives off. This is Jimenez. Good ball, Solis. And that one off the mark, intended for Carvajal. It stays with the Condors, though, as Fresno gives it right back. Sarmino thought about going after it. Instead, takes a defensive stance, and it goes back to the Rams. I feel like the Condors are maybe knocking on the door here. Some of that movement that we talked about, sloppy early, is starting to shore it up.
It's gotten a little bit better, but Fresno also have settled in now. The nerves have gone, and you know, again, there's a turnover, 40-yard pass, and that's the tough one.
Coach, I'm going to make a prediction right now. We're winding down the first half, but I think one of these teams is going to score early in the second, regardless of whether we score from here on into the end of the first half. Condors with it.
I'd love to see them switch the point of attack right now to the left.
Coronel up ahead. It's a good run. Carvajal trying to flick one in, and nothing doing. I think he was waiting for a runner.
Yeah, unfortunately.
I think he thought he had Coronel with him.
Yep.
Flag not up. One-on-one opportunity. The flick is in. Goal!
Jonathan Rodriguez.
Rodriguez on the score, leading scorer on the season.
Excellent
for
goal.
Fresno and the Rams.
Unfortunately, the Oxnard boys got a little flat. We talked about that offside, and a super ball through. Super ball through to and great execution.
I think they trapped themselves.
They got a little high. They got caught a little high, and it was just a super pass.
Well, we talked about the mistakes coming back to burn you.
39th minute, and we felt that there was going to be a goal scored. We felt early in the second half, but now the game changes. A little bit more urgency maybe from Oxnard. They've made a change in midfield, so we'll see who came. Someone will.
So coming off, that's Miguel Coronel.
Oh,
coming back on, it's Damian Lopez. Lopez went off with an injury early.
He was the one that was hurt, so unfortunately, probably somebody who'd won in the game.
Sarmino with it, midfield. Working to Solis. Solis with a run on it. Looking to go off of the side of his foot. And that one goes right back to the Rams. And the Condors have to be careful.
Great
the Rams trying to set up a counter. Torres. Can he get to the ball first? No, he will not. Higuera cuts him off. Ball played back to Cooksey. Cooksey up ahead. This is Lopez. Lopez just checked into the ball game. Good possession there for Damian. Off to Sarmino. Solis now with it.
Oxnard looking to answer. This is the big question. After you give a goal up, you've got to go. You've got to change it a little bit.
You got to respond. You have to put pressure. Sarmino, his team in a 1-0 hole. Good ball on the far side. Will it get there first? It will not.
Unfortunately, he waited. You can't wait. You've got to get to that ball. But
it's like being late over the middle in football.
Very, very true. And you know what? Oxnard's responding a little bit. But there's about 4 minutes to half time. So hopefully they can keep pushing. They need a little bit of help here. Someone needs to step up. One of their big guys.
Cooksey. Quick burst through. Plays it back to Sarmino. Over to Solis. Solis circles around, looking to reverse it on the far side. Jimenez. They enter into Carbajal. Can they get him going? Solis tries to put some mustard on it. He's unable to do so. Well, talked about the activity a little bit better here from Oxnard, but falling short pretty much every time they get on the doorstep. Seems to be a little bit of a lull here from the Rams. Can the Condors maybe take advantage?
I think the Rams have dropped back a little bit into the shell, a little bit defensively, maybe trying to keep what they've got to halftime, which can be a negative thing.
Cooksey with some time on it. He puts one through the box, wide right of the goal.
Cooksey's been really good going forward. Maybe the final decision has not been the best, but he's done really well going forward. Again, that's the answer you're looking for if you're Ross from Oxnard College. Coach Greeny will be looking to see what can we answer with. And it's horrendous. It's funny that it's your left back that's responding, but it shows you that they're prepared to go forward, which is a good thing for Oxnard.
Coming up on halftime, 1-0. The Rams strike first blood here, courtesy of the foot of Jonathan Rodriguez. We'll have official stats for you. Carbajal, recipient of that ball. Oh, that's a great feed there. Jimenez to Sarmino. Sarmino over to Cooksey. You almost root for Cooksey because of the name. You just like to call it a goal
name
for him. I love it.
Nice early ball in again.
Defense has been on par, not letting that ball leak through.
Very much. Most of the time when we're playing, we're playing 4 against 1 at the back. You got the 4 defenders, 1 forward, 1 target player. I think the interesting thing now at halftime for Fresno is, do they continue the way they're playing, or do they try and be a little bit more conservative? You've got a lead. Nice from Cooksey again.
Cooksey, good ball, and again, great defense. He's looking for Solis running through. Lopez will keep that from going past the boundary. Condors stick with it. We're approaching stoppage time. Quick whistle in the front. Quick start by Sarmino. A turnover.
Once the ball was rolling, so we're going to go back. I think the one thing that's lacking for the Condors right now is that penetration. Someone that's in the game of basketball will dribble and penetrate. We're getting in the box and we're looking for little flicks instead of somebody saying, I'm taking charge of this. I'm going to go for it.
I was just going to mention, they have a lot of players that are very willing to pass, but I don't know if they have that finisher that they need to put them on the board, especially against a team so highly talented as the Fresno City College Rams.
Sometimes you've got to be creative, and I think the way that Oxnard are playing right now, they need somebody to take charge up front and have it. I mean, if you watch that, they're getting the position. Nice. This is the kind of thing we're looking at.
Arroyo.
Good penetration.
Good penetration in. That one kicked out.
And that's
this is going to be a corner. First corner today.
And that's exactly what we're talking about. Go at somebody, make them make a mistake.
Well, maybe an opportunity here for the Condors to tie it up going in at the half. It's 1-0, the Rams on top, but a corner kick coming for the Condors in white.
We've got 9 players going in the box for the Condors. An in-swinging corner, so it'll come left-footed. Good ball.
Good ball. Back post. Nothing there, but possession does stay here with the Condors. Solis enters it in. Cleared out.
Excellent defending again.
And you'll take it. Solis again on ball. Over to Cooksey near side. Cooksey looking for some room. Trying to get creative with it. You said, Coach, and speaking of getting creative, Jimenez with the back heel goes off of a ram. Out of play. Throw in coming here for the Condors. Solis, good turn. Gonzalez gets it back. Great ball.
Oh,
it's
what a goal. Excellent goal.
That, my friend, is what they call a golazo. Raul Gonzalez.
Excellent. Beautiful goal.
You see the replay here. Gonzalez lets it fly past the keeper, and wow.
And we said we needed that penetration. We needed somebody to go at them. And obviously Jimenez realized that's what we got to do. Looks like we're in overtime. Or we had a little bit of injury time. We had the player Lopez down for about 2 minutes, so I would imagine we're very close. So going into halftime, Coach Greeny might feel a little bit better now, and so will the boys.
I think you're exactly right. Talk about Ross Greeny, head coach for Oxnard.
I think Eric Solberg is now, it's a tough one because you're up, you're guiding the ship, all of a sudden you've hit an iceberg. We hate to mention the Titanic to our friend over there, but we've hit an iceberg, and now they can't lose concentration. Good
Lapse
defense.
in concentration. Is this going to be a corner kick?
You got to figure.
This is going to the corner.
You got to figure that he's playing.
So we're in
seconds, huh?
We're in stoppage time here at the end of the first half, and here comes a late corner for the Rams. So a lapse in concentration defensively going to result in an opportunity here for the Rams.
And you'll see how the Rams are lining up on the edge of the box. They'll go into designated zonal areas. Always difficult to mark.
Rodriguez out front already with one, looking for number 2, and that one cleared out nicely by the Condors. And that'll probably do it for the half. Indeed, the whistle comes. 1-1 we go in at half. Fresno and Oxnard semifinal number 2. The winner gets Mount Sac on Sunday. Stay tuned, everybody.
Today's broadcast is brought to you in part by eTeamSponsor.com. IDX, giving you the power to create. Jostens and Nevco.
Second half underway here. It's 1-1. Rams of Fresno and the Condors of Oxnard, the defending state champs, looking to go back-to-back here in 2016. They will take on Mount San Antonio College. The winner will here. Mike Zepeda, Steve Hoffman, with you on today's broadcast.
I'd love to have been there at the halftime talk because both teams scored goals within the last 15 minutes of the half, right?
Should have sent you down there.
Yeah, we should have gone over and had a little chat with one of them.
Well, after I said something, I said, hey, Coach, you know what? I think there's going to be a goal scored here pretty soon. I think it's going to happen at the beginning of the second half. Well, you know, I spoke too soon.
You spoke, and you said a goal.
A goal.
And there was two. So, but, you know, just from talking to fans and soccer people outside, they all feel the same way that Oxnard, when they get in that box, they should go one-on-one, kind of like Rodriguez does for Fresno. Take people on, you know, be more brave.
Condors in the white, Fresno in the black. Condors now in the second half working left to right. Lopez near side. This is Arroyo. Good ball over Gonzalez, who scored the goal earlier, the equalizer. Ball out of bounds. This will be a throw in near side. Sarmino.
Oh, offside. Threw the ball and waited. Not a good thing from Samino. Should have gone the other way. It's elementary, but it happens.
So the Rams will have it. We talked about the sloppy play early on through much of that first half. Turnovers galore for both teams, but then both teams started to find another gear.
Yeah, and if you look at the size of the field now, you've got 4 or 5 Oxnard players pushed up, you know, pressing the back four. So maybe Ross will be a bit more expansive on his offense, but I still think the big three, they've got a big problem with the 7 and the 2.
Yeah, Torres, Prieto, and Rodriguez. And I incorrectly credited the goal, the first goal for Fresno, to Rodriguez. That goal was scored. Get a name here for you on the official stats done by David Silverstein. That was Alfredo Lopez, assisted by Ulysses Ramos. So apologies for having not got that one right.
But I think he started the move off. You know, I think that Torres got the ball. And
Rodriguez was there in spirit, and he was there on the field, within proximity to be sure.
A little bit, you can see the field's getting a bit tighter now. But Oxnard can't be too high. They can't play too high because obviously the speed of Torres.
Yeah.
Little bit of a pull there.
They really like to shoot those gaps in Sarmino. Keeps the ball, plays it back to Lopez.
Nice.
Lopez.
Good idea.
Up forward.
Well done by Carbajal. Lovely ball. Nice
Gonzalez again coming free, and Carbajal just off the mark. The ball cleared out. It will stay with Oxnard.
That's a little different than what we saw in the first half. A little bit of earlier ball in, good width, trying to get in behind them.
Ball entered into Carbajal. Carbajal loses
Turnover.
it. That's Rodriguez with the ball right now. Ball played up ahead. This is going to be out of bounds.
Again, Rodriguez plays so good with his back to goal. Nice layoff pass. Just good defending by Oxnard.
Plays really good with the back to the goal, but then he just turns on you in a split second.
Fast feet. He's not a big guy. He's not, you know, strong, what we say, physically strong. But
is he what you would
smart.
say wiry?
Yeah, that's what I'd say exactly. And look at the feet. Great feet. Look
Really,
at
really good.
Even though the ball went out, his creativity on the ball.
It's like he's moonwalking with the ball.
He's got that touch. He's got a great touch.
Well, hey, I mean, look at the best player in the world, perhaps maybe of all time, by some people's estimations, Lionel Messi. Not necessarily the biggest guy on the pitch, but, you know, his skill trumps all.
5'6".
That's incredible. Coach, where would you rank a guy like Messi all time?
Well, you know, I mean, obviously I came from an era where they had Pele and we had
Beckenbauer.
Beckenbauer, but you know, he's proven that with the goals he scored, he's right up there. If he's not number one, he's in the top 5 for sure. I think he'd probably you say top 5 for them all.
What about Ronaldo, the Tom Brady of soccer?
Well, you know, I mean, if you look at when he plays for his country, Portugal, he really is the show. He is the show, and you know, he carried that team to the Euros last year. I remember him being on the sidelines coaching because he couldn't play. If you remember, he was injured, and he was the coach. He was going crazy. So, both great players. Love to have them at Liverpool. But my favourite player is Luis Suarez because he's kind of like Rodriguez. You know, he can lose you. And
Solis on the ball, challenging the defense, looking to get some penetration. Plays it back to Sermino. Sermino, good play.
No one ahead of him though.
Turns it over.
Solis had nobody higher. Dangerous here. Dangerous.
Looking for Torres.
Strong on the ball, Torres. Sorry, man.
This is Ramirez up front. He loses the ball, and that's Cooksey.
Another good play by Cooksey.
And Ramirez.
A little bit after the ball. After the ball when he left his foot in there.
A little extracurricular.
Yeah. Beautiful night at the Plexi, and if you're looking out over the hills there, you'll see the Channel Islands and the red sun behind, and great soccer on the field.
Just a beautiful sight.
Looks like we're getting a little talking to. No card shown, probably a good thing.
Yeah, you know, they were quick to the card, I think, in the first men's game, and it got a little test between Taft and Mount Sac. But rightfully so. I mean, but when things get testy, you tend to want to be quick to the card just to use that as a deterrent for anything that can get out of hand.
Very much so. You want to control the game. I mean, that's the reality. And if you don't do it early, maybe and some referees do it early and some don't. So I would say there's no right way or wrong way, but it's just the feel, isn't it? It's the opinion.
It's all about the feel. I was just going to say it.
I mean, this game's been played in a great spirit. We've not seen many fouls. We've not seen many injuries. We had one little injury to Lopez in the first half, but otherwise, both teams have a full complement of players out there. Nice
good
combination
play
again.
Carbajal up ahead to Solis, to Gonzalez, looking for Gonzalez, and it's played back and cleared out nicely by the Rams. Again, the defense on point for Fresno.
This is like a chess match. It's backwards and forwards. Both teams try and go at each other, and up to now, only one time have both teams connected on those plays and scored goals.
Mike Cepeda, Steve Hoffman with you on today's broadcast. Game 3 of our quadruple header here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, being brought to you in part by Joe Cap Realty. This ball played near side. That's going to go out of play. It's not going to stay here.
Torres pressed into the mistake.
We lost the broadcast, right? Everything's frozen. Here, go Control Alt Delete, please. Apologies, we're having technical difficulties up here in the booth. Sarmino looks like he was fouled. Near side contingent of Oxnard people wanted a call. They're not going to get it. Gonzalez races back to the ball.
Definitely a little bit of retaliation for the foul on the earlier foul
Indeed. Jose Ramirez down on the deck. Well, after this kick here, we are going to briefly sign off and then come back for you. Make sure we don't miss any of the action. We'll try to get to it during a lull. Seems that Fresno's trying to knock on the door. Cooksey out of the back.
Cooksey, come on.
Cooksey up ahead. Plays it back to nobody. It's a turnover. It's not necessarily a costly one, but one that definitely quashes the momentum. And this ball up ahead, working towards Rodriguez. Rodriguez going to try and win it, and that's a terrific defensive effort there by Higuera.
Higuera did really, really well. Unfortunately, couldn't play it out. Just a throw in to Fresno, to the Bulldogs, the Rams, beg your pardon. Big throw.
Big throw. Rodriguez gets ahead on it. We're back the other way for the Condors. We're going to sign off shortly here. Be back with you in a moment here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Dangerous ball. But nobody there for the Rams. Coach, starting to get a little cold here, and do you maybe see a little lull in activity? Maybe not right now.
No, I think it's similar. I mean, the game is very, very tight, like we've talked about. It's that one mistake.
Arroyo has it poked away. Can Mario get there in time to save possession? He will not. That's a terrific play made on the ball by Torres. Torres kicking it up ahead. This is Ramirez. Ball played back to the keeper. Escarino gets there first. Apologies, everybody. We've had some issues with the internet here up in the booth. Hopefully they are fixed going forward.
Again, the quality, that final pass, again, just a little astray, but the right thing. Love the fact that Arroyo got himself in the box. Just love to see him go at people and not try and restart it again.
Yeah, I feel like he's going a little bit too much east to west. I like to see him go north to south.
Yeah. I mean, he's in there, and they're worried about him. You know, when you're a defender, and you're
he's definitely on the radar.
In the penalty box, you don't like people running at you, right? So, and Torres does that so well for Fresno.
He really does. And you have three guys that really do that very well for the Rams.
Well, since Luis Rivera's come in the game, he's kind of given them injects them a little bit of pace.
A little bit of a little bit of an injection of energy.
Yes,
indeed. This is Cooksey on the far side, looking for a cross. Can he come free? He's unable to do so. Trying to play it off with the foot of a Ram player. That's a good job by Fresno City, keeping it from going outside of the boundary. They have possession. Can they win the ball? And they do. But they're looking for Rodriguez. It's really good defense by Higuera, and he's really done a great job of maintaining or really quelling the skill of Rodriguez, not allowing him to really get out of control here for the Condors.
No, and he presses everything. There's a lot of energy.
That's a great ball. To himself, Lopez, like that could have been a handball. It's a dangerous ball, headed out momentarily. Let's see if the Rams can stay with it. They're able to do just that. This is Ramirez for Fresno City. The cross, nobody there.
A little bit too deep, but again, Fresno getting a little bit on top again now. And it's because of the turnovers.
Well, we really went through a grind through much of that first half before late in that first, finally the Rams break through. Of course, it's a great response shortly thereafter by the Condors to tie it up at 1-all. It's where we find ourselves right here. We're in the 64th minute. Mike Zepeda, Steve Hoffman, Jeff Stoynoff, Matthew Henson, and Jorge Zepeda with you. The entire SoCalCollegeSports.com crew. +1 here tonight. Thank you, Coach, for coming on with us.
It's a pleasure.
Really appreciate your time and your insight. Much better than mine, with regard to soccer anyway.
You do okay, believe me.
I appreciate
You'll
it.
do okay.
Trying to hold my own in the booth. It's tough when you're going up against somebody who, did you say 187,000 strong?
Yeah, well, that's how many kids we've got playing.
That is impressive.
Well, we've got some good kids in that group, and some players, obviously, Alex Morgan, Rodriguez, on Landon Donovans, they've all come through Class South. So we've got some great kids on the field today.
Carbajal, you said.
Been with the national team. With our national team.
Mendez earlier.
Mendez, and I believe Torres has been with our national team. And I know Jonathan Rodriguez was in with the national team as well. So there's some quality out there, you know. I mean, big throwing coming in. Everybody's going forward. Again, this is that set piece we've said, and it's a decent throw.
Good throw, dangerous ball. And here comes the counter. Potentially here for the Condors. Carbajal with a free run. Carbajal looking to catch a keeper out of his post. That's a heady play by Carbajal. It doesn't score, but I tell you what, that's trying to keep the keeper honest.
Yes, and the one thing I can tell you about Luis Carbajal, he's been known to score incredible goals. And that just shows you his vision right there. Very unlucky. They were very unlucky. A keeper, what a good play, though, in his own half.
Ball squirts free, and this is Ramirez for Fresno City, and it's going to go back to the Condors here. Will possession.
I think what we're seeing is two very evenly matched teams.
Yeah.
You know, and again, we've said this before. It's who makes the first mistake could be a big problem for them. But
with the upper echelon of talent that we see here, team-wise, at the 3C2A Final Four for men's and women's soccer, you know, the margin for error gets a lot slimmer.
Oh, absolutely, yeah, and because the level of play is very, very good.
Absolutely.
Nice ball in.
It's a good ball. It's a good head out. Doesn't clear it fully though. And the flag is up on the far side. We'll go back to the Condors. Jerry Orozco.
I think you summarized it before when you said when you go to a good boxing match, it goes for 10 rounds. And I think we're in about the 7th round right now because it's backwards and forwards. And
indeed.
You know, I don't think the possession arrow is in either favor in the second half. I think both teams had it. They've lost it a little bit. Best chance second half was Carbajal's incredible vision there for a shot.
Yeah.
That's probably been the best chance. Oh, lovely touch.
That's a good touch off of the chest.
Prieto,
Near side,
nice.
Prieto,
Yes.
we talked about. Part of that big three for Fresno City, along with Rodriguez and Torres, a player on the deck. This is that Lopez again?
Yeah. No.
Damian Lopez. He went off in the first half with an injury. And you talked about the rules, Steve, earlier about how he has to come off if there's a stoppage in play and he's the result. Will he have to come off again?
Yeah, the trainer. Once the trainer comes on the field, he's cramping up, which you know you got to find incredible. I know it's a big game. We've had some warm weather, but hydration is a big part of what these guys do.
Yeah.
And the tough thing is, if it is a cramp, you know, and I know it's probably not going to work itself out right away.
Yeah.
You can see it looks like a calf. So treatment will be minimal. Now it becomes a bit of a gamble. Do you leave him in? And he is a very influential player for the Condors.
This broadcast being brought to you in part by Joe Cap Real Estate. Joe Cap Realty. And by eteamsponsor.com. Wireless camera on the field being brought to you by IDX, giving you the power to create. You can visit them at www.idx-tek.com. Ball played back to the Condors. Roscoe with it. Quick tap. Near side, this is Arroyo. Talked about Arroyo and his deep penetration here in the second half. You've talked about it, Coach, about his ability to really get on the radar of the Ram players, and they're aware.
Yes, for sure.
And he has to make something of it. Ball played back, and now we're starting to see that lull in the action here. Not a lot of rhythm. Turnovers back and forth, and you know, what team is going to capitalize on one of those mistakes that we keep on seeing?
I think if a lot of people watch the Premier League, and we all know around about the 60th minute, 65th minute is when teams make changes in their EPL.
Yep.
because fatigue, the level of play.
Yeah.
So Lopez has done quite well, considering the injury, to last this long.
Yeah. And we talked about the insertion of Luis Rivera providing a spark for the Condors. Will we see a similar move being made by Fresno City? This ball is going to be won by the Condors as it goes off of the boot of Alan Gonzalez for the Rams. Cooksey on the far side. Cooksey with a run. A lot of green in front of him. This is going to go off of a foot.
Gotta love Cooksey. Gets the ball, goes forward, doesn't worry about it. Very brave player because he has a lot of ground to cover.
He really does.
How many 65-yard runs has he made in this game?
He's made a few.
Yeah, if he was a wide receiver on a football team, he'd be at a few yards. But he's done a great job.
And if you had a pedometer on him, his step count would be very high today.
Yes, for sure. Yeah, he doesn't have to worry about his fitness.
Oh, that's a great ball.
Lovely.
Nice
skill,
job by
lovely
Coronel.
skill.
Coronel. Insertion on the doorstep. The Condors are denied, and what a save made.
That was probably, without a doubt,
Looked
the
like
best opportunity of the game.
Castrejon. Condor still with it. Rivera unable to get that ball in time, headed back. And Oxnard starting to get in a groove offensively. We see some of that touch passing that has not really been on point today, but when it starts to click, it can really wreak havoc for other teams.
I think Raul Gonzalez would love that chance back. Great. But then you have to give the keeper tremendous credit. Did a great job.
Yeah, remember, Gonzalez had the first goal here today. He was looking for number 2.
He was very, very close.
He wasn't that far off the mark, that's for sure. That will go past the end line. Here comes a goal kick. Escareno will kick things in. Play it to Cooksey on the far side. Cooksey over to Higuera. Talked about Higuera and the play he's made on Rodriguez. Lead scorer for Fresno City. Really done a good job against him today. One all. We're in the 73rd minute. Semifinal number 2 for the men. Game 3 today on our coverage slate. SoCalCollegeSports.com's continuing coverage of the 2016 Fall Championship bundle, I guess, if you want to call it. We had water polo a couple weeks ago. We have soccer today, women's volleyball tomorrow, and then both finals for the men's and women on Sunday.
Well read by Arroyo. Well read.
Very well read. Plays that ball back. He's with it near side. Arroyo making a move. And nobody playing up. I'm surprised to not see any movement here from the Condors. I'd like to see them make a move here. Carbajal with it. Plays it back looking for Arroyo. Instead, it's going to find itself on the boot of Jimenez, who will play it to Cooksey. And now, the offense starting to transition forward for the Condors. Carbajal looking for a lane. The Condors in full attack mode now. The offense all the way up. Only 2 defenders back, and they're trying to break this 1-all tie.
Pressing a little bit higher, but got to be careful in transition. Got to make sure that they maintain the ball and not give it away.
Yeah, turnover is so key here, especially with only playing 2 defenders back and the turnover in place. Rivera had a thought about getting to that ball first, unable to do so. That's a beautifully playing ball, and coming out is Orozco to make a play on that. Rams still with it. Carvajal's going to win it. Carbajal with some numbers. That's a terrible call. 50-50 ball. And Carbajal, obviously, we're going to see a little bit of a sell job here. And, Coach, it's sometimes I feel like that's an overreaction of the referee. I think that's really the only questionable call, so I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. But you got a 50-50 ball there. There's a collision, but I think both players going after it. Well, what was your take on it?
Yeah, no, I mean, I thought it was one of those ones you let go. I mean, it was 50-50. The referee looks like, is the referee Radford? Is that who the referee is today?
I'm
not
entirely sure.
Looks like a kid Radford that's come through the ranks. He's an MLS guy. So he looks like he's got some experience.
Give Jose Aguilera an Oscar on that one.
Yes, for sure. He won it. Let's put it that way. He won the free
really
kick rather than earned it, as they say.
Had to perform a little bit, but it gets the job done. That one headed back.
Little back header, nice, well done.
So the back header, is that allowed to be picked up by the goalkeeper
yes,
off the head? It is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
if it's off the foot, not
off the foot.
Okay,
yeah, correct.
Gotcha. Just to clarify for anybody.
And Arroyo is, we'd love to see him go forward some more, and he will go forward as well.
Sermino. Dancing with it, plays it back. He will allow position to set up. They're looking for Carbajal running on the near side boundary. That one headed back, but right to Jorge Jimenez. Carbajal, quick touch. He's looking for Arroyo in the middle, and Arroyo wasn't home. Good convergence defensively, but it's going to go out of bounds off of the Condors, and Rams will have it.
Well, one of the problems with Samano, he loves to touch the ball. So he took 5 touches, 6 touches and he played the same pass he would have done with 1 touch. So he does slow the game down for Oxnard, which is good at times, but also you'd like to see him maybe move that a little bit quicker to encourage them to a little bit more speed of play.
So Xavier Pacheco is going to throw it in here for the Rams. Arroyo working on Rodriguez. Rodriguez is going to win it, working in tight quarters on a double team. Comes free, crossing shot, beautiful ball into the center of the box, and Torres just couldn't do anything with it.
I think he tried to lay it off, which would have been excellent. He tried to chest it down, just wasn't quite hard enough.
It's a wonderful cross, though, by Rodriguez, and he continues to shine here tonight, not on the scoreboard, but he's been a player to watch for sure here for Fresno. It's going to be a foul go against the Rams, and maybe feel like that was a bit of a makeup call there.
Yeah, I think that was like, I gave you one, I'm going to give you one. Actually, it's a throw-in. He gave a throw-in in the end, and
this one off of the foot of Rivera.
He's letting a little bit go, which again, it's one of those ones.
Game flow.
Do you want him to stop the game? Do you want the game to flow? And I think we all want the game to flow.
Rivera wins it. Playing it back. Rivera, a speedy player.
Very fast player.
Sermino.
That's better. That's better from him. Played it nice.
Up ahead to Carbajal. Carbajal. Jimenez could not control it cleanly. Oh, good steal from the back end. Coronel. Over to Cooksey. Cooksey. Back to Jimenez. Gonzalez with a goal earlier today. Rivera comes free in the middle. Can he turn on one? Looking for a shot. Can't get it on goal. It's blocked beautifully by the Rams.
Good penetration that time. They got into the box. They got what they wanted. They didn't quite get the execution, but they got there, and that's the key. The key for Oxnard right now, and for Fresno, is when you get around the edge of the 18, go at people. Yep. Commit. Lovely little touch.
Good ball. Jimenez can't catch up to it first. Orozco comes out of his post. This is Coronel. Ball played back, and the Rams now with possession. Rams looking to muster something up offensively. They've fallen a little flat in the last few minutes. Carbajal with a lot of green in front of him. Does have Rivera out in front. Carbajal loses it. I think he was thinking, and while he was thinking, he had the ball stolen. Flag not up. Oh, wow. Opportunity here for the Rams. Rodriguez came free. Sermino will play it forward. Escarino came out of his post, and that was a dangerous play here for the Condors.
Very, very similar to the one in the first half. Lack of concentration.
Yep.
That's the key. They just lost a little concentration, but Kiwi did well in the end. He needed to be there because I think the quality of Torres and Rodriguez is without doubt very, very good. So did a good job, even though it didn't look great.
Good ball. Arroyo now with it. Has Rivera streaking on the near side boundary. Played off of the Rams. Goes off for the boot of Camarena.
Rivera looking to use his speed. He definitely has speed. He'd love to get in behind people.
Arroyo will bring it in. Chested back to him, and this is going to be another turnover. Rodriguez plays its near side. Good move. Fantastic move by Jorge Garcia. Garcia up ahead to Rodriguez. Rodriguez from Torres. Rodriguez looking for a streaker.
Well turned.
Cooksey could not contain it defensively. They're looking for a cross. This is going to be a corner kick.
Well done, Cooksey, though. I mean, good defending.
You'll take it.
I'll take that.
Tovar forces the corner kick, and
he defended well, but you'd rather take that one. I'd rather take that than a shot or the cross. It was dangerous. So just a couple of little mistakes here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. I'll say lacks of concentration for the Condors. They have to focus. I think Fresno have really done a great job at the back. They've not given too many chances. The same with the Condors. But now I think you're in what we called real time. 80 minutes into the match, 10 minutes left.
Here comes a right-footed bender. Another dangerous ball. Headed near side. Oh, kept alive beautifully. That one nearly a handball off of Arroyo in the box.
This is dangerous.
Tovar looking for a cross. It ricochets and spins in the field of play, and here's an opportunity for the Condors on a counter.
Unfortunately, no high player again. We've talked about it.
Rivera.
He's going to bring it
plays it back. Moves
stop.
the defense. Here's Arroyo. And we switch the field. 82nd minute here. Semifinal number 2 for the men today. Game 3 of our quadruple header here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Condors threatening, tied 1-1. Rivera in the middle, has some room. Can he turn it? Plays it back, looking across. Does just that. Anybody home? Chested, sets up a shot. It's saved. What a save
Miguel
by
Cornell.
Casterron.
Yeah, Cornell hit the dang thing, and he did a great job. Great penetration from Oxnard. But this is where Fresno are dangerous. Now they're in transition.
Here comes a counter, Rodriguez. And quickly the defense converges, but an opportunity for the Rams. Can they keep it alive? Two of the best players on the field, Ceramino and Rodriguez working. This is Tovar. Tovar comes free. He's looking across. Dangerous ball, cut off nicely by Arroyo.
Got to get power. Sometimes you got to play a little bit more simple out the back. Arroyo almost got caught in that situation.
Cooksey on the far side with it. The Condors slow it down. Now here's Carbajal. Great ball. Carbajal to it first. Has possession for it with the Condors. Will play it back, but the defense has adjusted. Plays it back to Cooksey. Over to Coronel. Great ball. Carbajal comes free. Oh, he tried to dump it off. That was a handball. Cooksey got away with a handball.
One of those
working against a double team, trying to maintain possession. It's a good job defensively from the Rams.
That'll be a foul. Yeah, Cooksey, the thing with the handball, the hands were by the side, and the hands are by the side, and the ball hits you. Normally, you're not going to get a free kick for that as a handball because your body's closed. Whether if your arms are out, then it could be deemed intentional.
Was it 98 or 94? I think it was probably 94. Roberto Baggio for Italy. I remember he forced the handball in the box. He was just waiting for his defender to motion his hand, and he kicked it at the hands of the defender and got a penalty in his favor.
That's just, that's what makes Roberto Baggio special, is he can do those things.
Baggio played for, I believe, was it Juventus?
Yes, Juventus for a long time.
One of my favorite players growing up, and a star of that 94 World Cup. Italy eventually succumbing to Brazil. We referenced it earlier in the bicycle kick. I don't know if you saw that earlier in match number 1. Sailed wide left of the goal.
We're into the last 6 minutes, 5.5 minutes of regulation time. It's a free kick. Pareto can hit them. It's going to be an in-swinger, so it'll go behind the back line.
Look for a runner.
Dangerous, very dangerous.
Tough ball, golazo!
Very dangerous.
Oh, wait a minute. Is the flag up?
No, the flag's not up. He's given the goal.
The goal is scored. Fresno with the lead. Is that Rodriguez? Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez with the header. I said it would be dangerous because it's an in-swinger. Hit a great ball, Pareto. And he's got a number of assists this year for this Fresno Rams team.
I'll say that's the 5th assist for Prieto.
Yeah,
Indeed, his 5th.
He's
with that goal, the Condors, the defending state champs, fall behind here. Only 5 minutes left to go before it's stoppage.
Now really it's a matter of you're going to have to change a little bit of how you play.
You have to turn on the jets.
You have to play a little bit more direct. Maybe 3 up front. I would imagine Fresno will drop into 2 blocks of 5, leave 1 up front.
Condors push to the brink here as the top seed from the north inches out forward with the lead late in this one. Well, Coach, I think we've touched on it many times tonight. Some sloppy play here tonight, but still fun to watch. It's been a very competitive battle of teams very well matched together here in semifinal number 2.
Toe to toe is what I'd say. They've stood toe to toe. They've gone at it, and we said that the one mistake, and the mistake the referee has given very few fouls.
Yeah,
that was one of the very few that he's given, and you got to give. You got to give the Rams credit.
You got to give
tremendous ball and
executing off a set piece like that. I mean, that's just tremendous ball, and the finish with composure.
A little bit of a flick over the keeper's
just a
head.
little flick. That's all it takes.
Tough one, and now, like I say, to change from your style where you play the ball short passes, now they're going to have to play the ball long. You'd like to see probably a change at the back, maybe go to 3 or 2 at the back, because you've got literally, we're in the 87th minute. You need to play balls early forward and hope, if we say what you say in football.
Well, the Condors are not averse to a late game rallies.
That's true.
If we go back to the game in the regionals versus Santa Ana led that game 1-0 going into the 90th minute, going into stoppage time, and in that final stanza of stoppage time, the Condors scored 2 en route to the win to advance. They eventually find themselves up here in Fresno.
Just trying to put my stopwatch on so I can keep you up to date on.
Oh, that's a very dangerous ball right on the doorstep. That one saved off of the keeper. Castrejon gets a hand on it, and that was a very, very close call for the Rams.
2 big saves by Castrejon in this half.
Huge. Zach Cabrera coming free on that one. Here comes the corner, another dangerous ball. Not out of harm's way. Rams pack it in. They can't get a free path to the goal, and now the Rams will take over possession on the counter. 1-on-1. Oh, that's a great move out front. That's Torres.
Excellent player, tremendous player.
Torres has it turned and starts to get chippy out front. Approaching stoppage time here at the end of this one. 2-1, Fresno leads Oxnard, the defending state champs. Trying to repeat here in 2016, but they find themselves down. Here comes Aguilera.
And he ain't going to go to goal. He's going to try and keep it on the sidelines.
He's going to try and play keep away right here.
Time is not on the Condors' hands right now. They've got to press. They've got to get the ball. And they got to look to play forward.
That ball's going to go out, so we'll go back to the Condors. Coach, where we at time-wise?
Well, I figure we had the trainer on once, and they add a few substitutions. So I would say the maximum we'll get is 3 minutes, and we're probably starting that now. So I would think the 90's up.
Uh-oh. Again, this is Cabrera coming free. Terrific defensive effort made by Fresno. That was Andres Rios. So crisis averted momentarily here for the Rams, but they're not out of harm's way yet.
Carvajal has a pretty big throw. Doesn't use it all the time, but he's going to use it this time.
We'll see it right here. Big throw in from Carvajal. This is set piece from the side. Deep ball, a dangerous ball, but headed out nicely by the defense. Played in, tough shot over the crossbar by Coronel. That's one where you're just looking for the upper corner.
Obviously, the keeper is trying to use as much time as the clock as he can, trying to go for the big ball away, but the referee in, making sure that he plays the ball in.
Maybe 1 or 2 possessions left here. Last hurrah from the Condors. Deep goal kick. Orozco will head it forward. This is going to go off of Orozco. This should go to the Rams. Indeed it will.
I think we're down to maybe a minute 30. Maybe a minute 30. Silly foul. Not what you need.
That's a bad foul there from Orozco.
The foul's not. It's the time. It's the time on the clock. The ball will come back. They'll take their time, and I would imagine they won't even play it in the box. They'll try and play short, start it, and go back, or they'll play it to Torres or Rodriguez. Rodriguez is right here. I could see them playing this to Rodriguez short because he's a very technical player, isn't he? There you go.
He really is. And that one's read well, and that's going to go beyond the goal line.
Well, I think we're into what I would say the last minute or so of this match. He's looked at his watch a couple of times.
The last hurrah for the Condors. Here's Cooksey with it. Cooksey looking to go forward. It's a turnover, and will that do it?
He's getting close. He's looked a couple of times. His linesman has indicated that's it. But maybe there's chance for one more. Going to have him back to where he took the throw in.
It's good refereeing there. He has Cooksey open on the far side. Does Arroyo kick that ball into the center. Rodriguez will play it back.
Unfortunately, they just can't get the ball in that they want.
It's a great job by Fresno keeping it away from the Condors. And that will do it. The Rams punch their ticket to Championship Sunday. It'll be the top seeds from both the North and the South, Mount Sac and Fresno City in the final 10 a.m. Sunday. We're back in a moment here, SoCalCollegeSports.com. We'll wrap this up and then move forward to Game 4 of our quadruple header women's semifinal number 2. We'll be back in a moment. Stay tuned, everybody. 2-1 Fresno on top of the defending state champion Oxnard College Condors. There will be a new champion here in 2016. It will either be Fresno City or Mount San Antonio College. Mount Sac by the skin of their teeth earlier today with a win over Taft. Taft, the only team to beat Fresno this season. And it will be a very interesting matchup in the final with the two top seeds duking it out on Sunday at 10 a.m.
Yeah, it's again a tough loss for the Condors, but they can feel proud of what they've done. Great run back to the championship, and unfortunately one great chance taken. Yeah. And we look at the end of the game. Oxnard had the one with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
They were one-on-one. If it's your day, that goes in. But I think they should be proud of themselves. The journey's been fantastic, and it's a very good team. I think the big three from Fresno. I've seen Mount Sac also, and I think they are the big three. Yeah. I think this tournament will be decided by those three players at the end of the day.
I think that's a great observation, and to your point, Mount Sac comes in as the top-ranked team in the state according to the last coaches poll. But to open the season, we talked about it, Fresno was the top-ranked team. So you talk about that big three and their ability to really impose themselves in the result of the game. Prieto with the assist, Jose Ramirez with the header off of the set piece to break the tie and send Fresno into the final game.
Yeah, and Prieto was quiet in the game if you think about it. He just went about his business, did stuff, but the free kick was quality. That's why Beckham made millions, right? Because he could put it where he wanted to. And credit to them. And
they made a movie out of it.
That's right. He made a movie, and now he has a clothing line as well.
Yeah, well, hey, bend it like Prieto.
There you go.
They're looking for a sequel. That'll do it for our coverage here. Game 3, 2-1. It's in the books. Fresno with a win over Oxnard. We head to Game 4 in just a moment. Scheduled start time of 7 p.m. We will join you about 20 minutes beforehand here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. For Steve Hoffman, for Jeff Stoynoff, Matt Henson, Jorge Zepeda, I'm Mike Zepeda signing off, everybody. We'll see you at 7 o'clock.